My name is Randy Hunziker, and I'm a real estate agent here in town, also an attorney. So I had a daughter who was involved in a bad car accident about 4 months ago. And I went to the scene, and the EMS there did a great job. They didn't have a prior accident, it was a bad accident. And in the past, I've been involved in auto claims as an executive, but I never went to the sites. Dealt with a lot of bad stuff, but getting there, seeing your daughter there, it was a whole different level of wow. And so after going through that process, I decided this would be cool to go around and meet, introduce, let the public know that there's actually human beings and that you guys have lives, and it's not just they see you when you show up to a fire or an EMS situation. We wanted to personalize it some, be able to shake hands and introduce ourselves to people.
First?
You want to go ahead?
Sure. Lieutenant McQueen, I'm one of the lieutenants here. I've been at Station 2 for almost 20 years, probably, at this station. So it's a great station. It's an old station. She's an old girl, but we love her. And the station is known for the hazmat, or the regional hazmat team for
that's cool.
Not only Alachua County, but several of the surrounding counties. And we have 3 trucks here, the hazmat being one, a tower truck, which we're actually trading back into today. We're in a backup truck right now, but it's a ladder.
Trading meaning you do it?
No, it was in for maintenance, so we're switching back into it. And then an engine. So we have an engine, a tower, and a hazmat truck here. And then later on, I can specify what those things mean.
Perfect.
I would say this station's probably primarily known for the hazmat and for, what would you say? A good time?
Camaraderie.
Camaraderie.
Camaraderie, I should say.
Camaraderie.
Uniqueness.
Uniqueness. So a lot of lockers get filled with what would we have? Plastic balls,
peanuts,
flour,
people.
Saran wrap.
Are you guys having fun?
Lots of pranks happening.
Stop it.
Lots
This
of
is the
pranks.
prank place. So
Fun pranks.
fun pranks,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Glad to hear that.
Yeah, so that's what this station is. It's home. It's home for 24 hours, and then, now with
Sometimes
the 24,
more.
Sometimes more.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
I'm firefighter Graham Thompson. I am one of the younger guys here. I've only been here for about 2 years. I currently ride behind Lieutenant, so that means that in fires, me and him go in as a crew. The other 2 guys that you'll meet are the other crew on the fire.
He's my shadow.
Yes, so
Where
I
I
pretty
go,
much
he
follow
goes.
Lieutenant, and then that's pretty much all I have for right now.
What is the functionality of the shadow?
So
He's directing you to do
No,
something?
we're just together. We're a unit. So our first main function on a fire is to do search and rescue. So while these guys are pulling the hoses off, getting water, we're going in searching for victims, and we stay together. We split up independently doing different functions
It's
inside.
a role. That's
It's a
so
role.
my role would be immediately when we get there, find a way to get into the house. If we have to force a door or anything, I would do that. Lieutenant's got this thing that's a thermal indicator, which he can show you later. It kind of reads fire and heat. And we would search, and if I find a room, I would tell him, I'd say, hey, Lieutenant, I have a room. I'm going in to search. If it's a big room, we'll both search. If not, he'll stay at the door so that way I can come back to him. So, like you said,
Very
shadow, I
interesting.
just we work together, talking together, following each other around in the house. So.
One thing I think people don't understand about firemen in general is we love our job, but we love it so much that we don't want emergencies to happen ever, but when they do happen, we want to be the ones there, to do our job. That's what we're trained for. So we don't ever want bad things to happen, but when they do happen, we want to be there because this is what we train for all the time, to help people in emergencies.
Would you say you were the type of person who grew up wanting to be a firefighter?
Yes. Oh yeah. My dad was a fireman, so I grew up around it. So sort of from a young age. I didn't want to when I got into my teenage years. I wanted to do something else. I wanted to go into the military, but my dad said he'd pay for fire college, so I did fire college and got hired with Gainesville and loved it. So
Is
nothing
it
better.
Is it common then for generations to follow generations into this?
I would say we got several generations.
Several generations of father sons. Yeah.
Or friends. We got a lot of people who
Friends
get their
too.
buddies into it. A lot of ex-military guys because it's a purposeful job. It allows you to find immediate purpose in serving people's needs, whether it's cats in a tree, their water pipe busted, I mean, we get to fires, to car wrecks, to EMS calls, to kids stuck on the playground. I mean, we get all that. So
Yeah, that's a good kids stuck in a playground.
I've been to kids stuck in swings. The little toddler swings that they kind of hug them, and their legs get caught, and mom's there at the playground and can't get them out, so they call us, or they get their head stuck. We had a kid get their head stuck in the bars.
So with grease?
We ended up cutting it with a sawzall to get him out. So, and then we have like our special operations, which is our hazmat at this station, Station 1, the big house. They have the technical rescue, so they do any high elevation rescue down to collapses or trenches, people that are stuck down the hole. And then they also are one of the regional response teams for hurricanes or natural disasters, so they actually deploy out in good places. So.
Wow. Very cool. Go ahead. Get in there. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. All right. So I am Anthony Hutchinson. I'm a driver operator here at Station 2. I've been with Gainesville for about 8 years. I've been blessed to be at this station for 7 of those. So pretty much this has been my home the whole time. Lieutenant McQueen touched on a lot of things. Some other things that people don't know is, majority of our calls these days are EMS. And a lot of people don't know that, we work out and, you think of us as these big tough guys, but we have to have a lot of empathy a lot of times. Because a lot of these calls aren't the most serious calls. They could be emotional distress. They always tell us that like we show up on somebody's worst day. So, and that's something really big to think about, honestly, because people are really distraught in those moments, and sometimes it's not, and we know it's not always a medication or it's not always an intervention that needs it. Sometimes they just want to talk. Like sometimes they need a reassurance. They need something to know that like, hey, I'm human too. And for myself, like I talk a lot, so I love to. That's a big thing for me. I like to be personal with people because a great lieutenant told me, the community sees you how you step off the fire truck. So if you step off with your shirt untucked, if you step off with a bad day, that's going to translate over to your patients. And as we all know, stress can be a killer, and the last thing somebody on their worst day, or vehicle accident, or they lose a loved one, or their kid gets hurt, the last thing that they want is a disgruntled medical firefighter to just come to them.
You're not allowed to have a bad day when you show up.
And you're really not. And like here at the station, we learn a bunch of things. I once heard also, it was a really cool fact that, all 4 of these guys, and I actually do believe this, if it wasn't for this station and this job, our paths would never cross. Yeah. He has a different walk of life than he has a different walk of life. So our paths will never cross. But the cool part is all of us being here in the station together, I get to learn some things that David, some things, some baseline mannerisms that he grew up with, that I bring into my everyday life. The same thing with Graham, how he was raised, and Wes, even being a dad. And then I have my lieutenant, Joe Lewis, who's a dad and raised 2 grown boys, and myself, who has a young one. You get a lot of input. You get a lot of, the word I'm looking for.
Walks of life.
Yeah, walks of life. You get a lot of that from here. And that's super cool. And for myself, I was not a first generation firefighter, actually. I didn't want to be a firefighter at all. One day I came and did a ride along and they caught a huge fire. A dude got his leg burned. And I was like, all right, let's go. You know what I mean? So it was a high speed thing for me, and myself.
How did you get a ride along?
So you can come, know everyone out there that wants to become a firefighter. You can come and do a ride along. You can come and sign waivers, and you can come ride along the truck with us and see what it's like on an everyday basis. But those are some things. Yeah,
especially this group.
Yeah, so
Often in with you, dude, you're in trouble.
Absolutely. But yeah, I mean,
it's a good time.
Yeah, it's a good time. And 2, like we said, hazmat. I'm always going to say it. This station is the tip of the spear. We are the pinnacle of fire department, fire station. I would say. Some people may agree. A lot of people agree.
This is going to be on video, and you're going to get challenged.
I think that was the
They
point.
can come call us. Hey, come call us. You know the number.
I'll unapologetically say that in the whole nation, this is probably one of the top fittest departments, especially for our size. Like we have across from one side of the city to the other, all 4 shifts. It's very rare that you find a complete department that is fitness oriented as we are. when you start looking at fire departments. So I'll challenge any fire department out there.
And when
Anybody.
It's hard to find.
It's on.
It's hard to find what, like y'all pull the stats up because I'm just gonna claim it.
Absolutely.
We're one of the top.
Do you guys have equipment and stuff to work out locally here?
We do.
We have
You
a
do?
gym. Yep,
Okay.
we have a
you
gym.
have
Every
also.
fire station has a gym.
Everyone.
Pretty
does?
much.
Wow.
Every last one, every one of our Gainesville Fire Rescue stations has a gym and workout equipment that we're able to stay fit up.
This is Joe Lewis, the engine lieutenant. He wanted to say a few
Hi,
words.
Jerry.
Go ahead.
Joe.
Joe Lewis.
he was the dead one. Yeah, he was the one that
No, the down fire.
Well, yeah, down. Sorry.
And with Joe, like he was saying, like how long we know each other? 15 years? 15, 16 years. We were firefighters together. We both started promoting up, and then now we're both at the same station and we're both lieutenants. And like what Hutch was saying, like that community kind of, even you might want to say it's almost like a little tribe of people that are out here. It's brotherhood.
Yeah.
And you get to come to work and work with some of your best friends.
It's family.
And,
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
help each other on your days off. He's got, we're getting ready we're planning to build a chicken coop at his house. It goes, the veins of it spread out all through.
It goes beyond the fire service.
Yeah.
Tell your story.
I'll try to keep it short and sweet. My name is David Fernandez. I'm a firefighter. Been here for about 3 years, originally from Miami. This is not my normal crew. I still love these guys. I'm on overtime today. I'm on C shift, best shift.
What does that mean?
So we have an A, B, C, and D shift now.
So you're currently on A shift, right?
Yeah, correct.
So there'll be a whole different group of guys tomorrow for 24 hours. They're called B shift. And we don't like to talk about B shift.
Nor C or B.
And then after
So A's the best.
So does it go A, B,
By
C, D?
far, by
Are we
far.
allowed to say that on the video? You guys are gonna get
So-
your own
Every shift
shit.
likes to say that they're best shift.
It rotates A, B, C, D, and then A comes back.
Correct.
Yep.
Comes back on.
Every fourth
Yep.
day.
Gotcha.
Rotational schedule.
We just switched over. We used to have a 24-48 schedule, and last August we switched over to 24-72.
So now we have an extra shift.
We get an extra day off now, which is good for our rest, mental health. A little bit about me. Like I said, I'm from Miami. I do love these guys. I love being up here. I'm a first-generation firefighter. I didn't know exactly I wanted to be a firefighter. I was kind of all over the place, thinking about going to the military, being a cop. But I did know I loved helping people. I did have a good best friend down south that worked for the city of Miami, and I was kind of following his footsteps. And I love the camaraderie. Sorry, got a little tongue twisted there. And I knew that was something. As soon as I started looking into it and getting into it and doing some rides down there, I was like, this is something I want to do for the rest of my life. When they asked me if I love my job, I say it's the best job in the world. Really, there's no other job out there that's you get to train as hard as you can, help people, spend 24 hours. You can cook. I love to cook. I definitely learned a lot being here.
Are you a designated cook then? 'Cause
On my shift,
So we all shift. Everybody
Yes.
everybody has one good meal they make.
Yeah.
Some people
Yes.
that one good meal is not very good. So, but they try. But yeah.
But are there known cooks that are like, if he's cooking, I'm eating?
yes, there are.
These two right here on A shift. Or no, that's
Actually, believe it or not, we have a guy today. He will come about. You'll see him at some point. He is a chef. Actually, he actually went through culinary school. Tobin did go through culinary.
Tobin is a
Tobin-
good cook.
Tobin is a really good cook. He
Yes.
went through culinary school. I don't know why that didn't work out. This is Marlon. Thank you, Marlon.
So Marlon is what we call a probationary firefighter. So he is recently hired. He's on probation, which means he gets all the pranks directed at him, and he has to do most of the work. We help out. We all help out, but he's the lowest on the totem pole.
Is there usually only one lowest on the totem pole at a time? So
At a
he
time.
can't have another person with him that helps him with this?
Sometimes we end up with two probies on the shift. Like Station 1, I don't know if y'all went down there.
We did.
downtown.
That's where we
A lot of
started.
times they'll end up with a couple probies there. But our station, because you have to be a specialty to be on the truck,
Oh.
they don't. Probies aren't allowed to be on there. They're on the engine, and then they get a year of probation. They'll spend 6 months at one station, 6 months at another, and then basically just seeing if this is what they need to be doing.
This is your last 6 months, right? Last 6 months.
And something special about Marlon that I'm just going to throw it out there is he's actually trained for something else. We're all hoping for, because if it happens, the whole crew's going to California for the Olympics. Yeah. So he's actually
Hurry up! Like, congratulations, do it!
he's training. Wait, he's a sprinter, and he's actually
There you go.
got a chance to maybe make it.
Should the real estate agent doing this stuff go with you guys to California?
Hey, if he gets some endorsements.
if it gets to it.
Okay.
Yeah. Call Waterloo.
I'll work on that.
We drink a lot of water.
We drink a lot of Waterloos here. Waterloo, call us.
I like it.
But give him a little info about yourself. Tell us about you.
So I was born in Manhattan, New York. Both parents are from Dominican Republic. I moved back and forth there a lot. Moved to upstate New York. Lived there for a while. And, during COVID, I just kind of, the whole thing was kind of weird with COVID. But ended up getting a full ride scholarship to run track down in Miami. And eventually, I was there for 2 years. Miami just wasn't it for me. Being a New Yorker, going down to Florida,
It's a different world, dude.
So I was just trying to find something that would be like, I guess I could call home, right? I was just driving up and down the East Coast, trying to find a coach and home. But I was still training every day, just getting after it, just trying to figure it out. Being as young as I am, it was hard not trying to just give up and straying away to just like the basic, just get some regular part-time job or just enlist to the military, stuff like that, But I just really wanted to make it in the Olympics. I really felt like you don't go through things for no reason. I just trusted the process, and I one day met these Olympians in Jacksonville, and they kind of just told me like, hey, there's this coach in Gainesville. He's willing to help you. Come down. I didn't even talk to the guy yet. I came here blindly, not having anywhere to stay. And about that same week that I was training, I met a lieutenant that was doing, two lieutenants that were doing basically like a fitness exam at the track. One of them asked me like, hey, are you ready to do the exam? And I was like, nah, I'm just here to practice. And then he gave me the spiel, and I was like, you know what? Firefighting doesn't sound too bad. He was actually there that day. That day changed my life entirely. It changed my life. Being as young as I am, I highly recommend it to people my age. I mean, the schedule that we have in this department is great. And again, like going back to like the family thing and finding home, I found that here. And I'm just really grateful,
What event do you run?
I do the 100 and 200. So on the days that we have off, I'm all in on that. So I'm at practice. I train over at either at Fred Cohn Park or at Numa Fitness. So I'm doing that.
Almost as fast as me.
Almost.
Who are you training with?
Tim.
This coach right here.
Sounds like Tim.
Yes. So the goal right now is to run for Dominican Republic. I feel like I have a pretty good shot at doing that, and I'm just kind of just taking it day by day, breaking down my runs, and I'm lucky I have this and that. But I wouldn't have one without the other. I wouldn't have track and field the way that I'm able to have it now if it wasn't for this job in the department.
Gives you that flexibility to do both.
Yeah,
I love it.
the stability that I have now to pursue that is just unbelievable.
Do you mind me asking, how old are you?
I'm 22.
22. Good for you.
Those boots are brand new. Get a close up on them and then tell us stepless. Slip and slides.
New booty.
I to get perspective. Tim, I'm not much of. I was a Division II college lacrosse player, but Tim, I trained with Tim my whole high school career.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is that your trainer?
That's
Okay.
awesome. Tim started
job.
Numa Speed when I was
Sophomore?
freshman or sophomore year, and then a couple of my teammates got hooked on it, and then we started training with him 9th or 10th grade year. And athletically speaking, I got a lot more athletic. Didn't get a whole lot bigger, but as a 5'10" white guy, not a whole lot that I was going to be able to do other than just get a little bit quicker off the line. That was about it.
Break
But
the barrier, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Barrier,
So I was
Cooper DeGene.
I was on the process of like
Cooper's a lot more athletic than me,
about my
brother.
life, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I want to write a book about my life, and the lady who was helping me out, she just randomly brought up this coach that was in Gainesville, and I shot him a text, and he was really willing to help. I think what helps too is that being an athlete that runs the same exact event as you, and like him noticing that like I'm really passionate about this. A big part of it, I guess, from a coach perspective, is seeing what the athlete has already been willing to do to make it. Like if it's just some like, oh yeah, I just want to run, or if it's like some guy who's like sacrificed almost everything for it.
Yep.
But yeah,
I'm sure he could see the passion and go, okay, I'll take you on.
I think Tim does a good job of seeing himself and other athletes and what they sacrifice.
but even like
Did you
outside
know
of
who
that,
he was?
no, I still don't really, but I just I don't know, but
I know he's a world record.
yeah, but the same passion that I have with that is the same passion I have here. Like track is something that's outside of work, but when I'm here, I'm just honed in on being able to help the city, the department, just being a really, really good fighter.
Very exciting.
My name is Joe Lewis. I'm a lieutenant paramedic. I've been with Gainesville Fire Rescue for 16 years now. Recently promoted to lieutenant. I was driver operator before that for about 6-7 years. I have a wonderful family, 4 beautiful children.
What are their ages?
25, 18, and 21, and then a 10-year-old.
Wow.
Yeah, the 10-year-old
Good for you.
10-year-old was intentional, just in case anyone was wondering.
Nobody would question that, right?
I mean, the 25-year-old, that was from a previous marriage.
Mm-hmm. Good for you.
I've been with the Station 2 for 15 years now. This has been my station. Wes and I, like he said earlier, we've been working together probably 15 years of the 16 that I've been here. I'm a hazmat technician as well. But I really...
Is everyone here, do they have to be a hazmat
Yes.
tech?
Well, that,
You have to get there at some point?
so everybody on the engine doesn't have to be, but everyone on that truck has to be. And the intention here is that we want to have everybody in the station to be hazmat technicians. Should there be a large call out, like he was saying, we're a regional hazmat team, so if that truck goes out to a call out of county, then likely this truck would be attached. That way we have 8 or 7 to 8 hazmat technicians on the scene. That's the idea.
Is there a natural progression of levels when you get here? Like you start at a probationary guy, and then what are there steps to get to top dog? Is there a natural step, or can you jump by education or anything?
So we have promotional processes, if that's what you're curious about. So initially you come in as a firefighter, then you have a promotional process to become a driver operator, and then there's a promotional process for lieutenant, district chief, and then after district chief, it's pretty much I wouldn't say a promotional process, but they go through a process that picks out who they think, and they have an outside process where they can pick up people from the
Who's
outside.
doing that? Who does that?
That would be our administration and
All right.
training bureau that does that. But
Do you guys get input in any of that?
sometimes they ask for the input of the lieutenants or the driver operators for those promotional processes.
Probably the hardest thing is to get people to go from this world to a day job.
Because anything past
They're hard.
anything past our district chiefs is currently a day job. So those firefighters
Sounds like
through
it sucks.
district chiefs are on shift work.
I don't want a promotion.
Well,
no, I want to be in the
They
station.
run into that problem
They
because
do.
they'll have positions come open. They're like, we need, people to take these jobs. And
And then we have to hire from the
Nobody's
outside.
We're
raising their hand.
I'm good.
No, I like my team. I'm staying.
Yeah, we're in a situation right now where they actually have to put on a couple of promotional tests for lieutenant and for driver, and we don't have enough people that are eligible. So the possibility of us having to hire outside of the department to come in, which is unheard of. We never do that except for chief positions, administrative positions. So it's going to be an interesting situation.
Yeah.
And we're a young department. The majority of our department has less than 10 years. But we're getting a lot of bottlenecking in that area, and hopefully we can get some movement in the ranks here pretty soon.
Very cool.
Yeah, come on, guys.
Fernandez.
So every UF football home game, sorry about that.
Yeah.
Every UF home game we're there for hazmat response. We're monitoring the stadium. We're monitoring it for any hazardous materials, or any kind of terrorist attack, or any type of gas leak or anything like that. We're up to there's 12 of our personnel in the stadium. We're able to
For hazmat.
we can remotely detect with the monitors that we have now because the technology is just insane. When I did the first game that we had. We just had 4 guys there, and very little monitoring capability other than handheld monitors. Now we got a guy up in one of the boxes that has a computer, and we're able to tell just from the carbon monoxide from the golf carts where they're moving at through the facility.
Whoa.
We can detect for all types of things, any kind of bio, any kind of chemical attack, any type of radiological. We're there to respond.
So that story you're talking about, so that's any event almost.
Yeah.
So Super Bowl, all the event, everything is the same. We got to be worrying about that.
Yeah. So every UF football game, we're at the stadium.
We're at the request of the university to do this, and there are other departments around the nation that actually do that for NFL games and college games. But we've been doing it for how many years?
We're one of the first in the
Yeah.
country.
And a lot of teams have come and actually modeled what we do here for our football games for their own in other cities. So we were one of the first.
But that's this truck does. Without getting too detailed in it, driver operator Hutch give me a quick message.
Oh yeah, so with the hazmat, some of our capabilities that a lot of people don't know are we go to cut gas lines. For all of our fiber optic people, we know that those have been hitting a couple times. If you know that we have I-75 up to the west of us, we will also respond to pump offs for vehicle accidents for semi trucks that may go overturned and their saddle tanks may go out. We also respond to white powder calls and unknown calls. So those are those big ones. A letter gets into the mail, which we actually had. A letter comes into the city manager's office, and it has a mysterious powder on it, and it has it inside. So they'll call a hazmat team in, and then we'll come in as our team, and we'll kind of format a plan. And this truck is equipped with suits, monitors, pH papers, a lot of detection devices that we can take in and kind of go in and get a sample, or if we have to take any readings. And we'll also have a lieutenant, or we'll have another team outside. We have a hazmat captain that'll also be outside, and he'll be the one that relays over to the state for us. He's the one that gives us orders from the outside if we need to know wind conditions, weather conditions, time of day, because when you're talking about hazardous materials, they're almost in everything. We like to say that hazmat happens every single day. Every time something burns, that off gas and that gives off chemicals, and those are toxic to the body, So for us, we have to stay up on top of our specialty in situations like that, because like we said, no one else is coming after us. It's us. So we're the last line of defense. So it has to be with us. So those are some of the capabilities of our hazmat truck. If you see here to the left, this is our tower, our quint. So the crews for the hazmat actually double. So they double as a truck company, and then when hazmat calls come in, all 4 of us will grab our gear, and then we'll move over into the hazmat truck, and now we're hazmat 2. And then we'll take this bad boy out, and then we'll go respond on whatever we need to, whether it be in the city, in the county, or however our mutual aid is needed. So truck-wise, that's a cool thing about hazmat. On a station tour-wise, as you see, this is our bay. This is where we keep all of our trucks at. You guys want to do an inside tour? Yeah, let's do it. All right, cool. All right. Hey, Mom. She'll see this tonight. All right, so as we start, we are here for 24 hours. So this is our home. This is where we eat together. This is where we sleep together. This is where we do it all. So welcome to our crib.
MTV Cribs Edition.
So first, welcome to the kitchen. So this is our kitchen. This is our dining room. This is where the morning coffee happens. This is where the morning music videos happen. This is everybody's favorite place, the kitchen. As you know, we have 4 different shifts. So if you see, we have multiple refrigerators from around. A shift, B shift, C shift, for all the guys that have specific diets or anything like that. that's what we have here for them. You know,
You claim refrigerators?
we claim refrigerators. Yeah, we claim
Yeah, because
refrigerators.
they're
So
full pretty quickly. I mean, you have
And you
7 guys per shift.
7 guys per shift. And
Sharing
some
that
guys have
fridge.
some guys may be gluten free. Some guys may be vegetarian. Everybody could have their different dietary situations. So it's cool to have the fridges so that we can kind of keep our stuff so we don't all get up on top of each other.
If you were able to tell someone, hey, if you're going to come to our station like next week,
Yeah,
if you're going to come to our station, bring something for us to eat.
absolutely. We take all sweets. Personally, myself, I do love double fudge brownies with the walnuts in them. That's for all you folk out there. What else do we take around here?
He eats a lot of spinach.
He eats a lot of spinach and a lot of veggies. So all you farmers out there, come holler at Marlon. Substitute him up. Some other things we've taken a new health kick. We started drinking a lot of sparkling waters on this shift. So Waterloo, if you hear this, give us a call. So a lot of water. We have our Gatorades here to keep us hydrated. Celsius is because we'll have Celsius and we'll have coffee. Because what people don't understand is 24 hours is we're on the clock for 24 hours. That means we're on the clock at 3 in the morning. We're on the clock at 5 in the morning. Sometimes, and I think all of us around here have come to work and not slept until the next day. Some of us have been here for 48 hours and not slept, period, at all. And that is what we signed up for. That's the job. Emergencies don't just happen during the day and they don't just happen at night. They happen all the time. So for us to be in here, this is where we kind of come at the end of the night. We all eat together. That's one common thing at the fire station. Whether you have your own food or we cook our food, we all try to come together. A lot of conversations happen right here. A lot of flat earth theories happen right here, so a lot of conspiracies, but this is kind of our common ground. This is the morning. This is our bullpen. Oh, get a close up on this guy. This is Clark, one of the baddest fish in Gainesville. Don't get him mistaken with Carlos. That's Clark, one of the bad boys. He's our station beta fish. Don't mind his water. He just had a wild weekend, so let him do his thing. We'll bring you through. We'll bring you through to one of our favorite rooms.
Did y'all hear what we are at the station? Did y'all tell them what we are here?
What?
Our logo?
Right there. We're the black sheep. We're the black sheep.
Yep.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
This is where they send all the riffraff. We're the Australian.
So this is our recliner room. What a lot of people may not know, is being here for 24 hours, you can't always be on go for 24 hours. We like Game of Thrones just like the rest of everybody else. So this is our TV room. We're at night. 8 o'clock. After 5 o'clock. Most people work at 8 to 5. Our day sometimes with training is at 8 to 5. From the hours of 8 to 5 in the evening, we're training. We're doing our job. After 5 o'clock, that's a little bit more of our downtime. That's when cooking is starting to happen. After dinner, we may come in here and watch a movie. Football season, catch a quick nap. That's one too. So
it's
those
a busy night. Sometimes the guys will, instead of it gets real annoying when you go to lay in bed and then you're getting a call, and then you're laying in bed and getting a call. So some guys will just come in here and they'll crash out in here for 20 minutes in between calls. It's a lot easier to get out of a recliner than you guys will see. We'll take you back there. We have full-on bedrooms.
You said movies. What do you have access to get into movies?
So all of us, that's the cool part. So it is totally all of us. I think some of our Netflix is logged in. Some of us have YouTube TV logged in. Some of them have HBO logged in. So we that's one of those things where we bring them for our everyday lives and we bring it in here. Yeah. And we have ample amount that we can watch in here. But this is the den, as they would call it.
This is the most coveted room in the fire department.
Coveted room.
The other stations are general stations. It's nice cold AC and it's private. We can just on the weekends when you want some downtime, watch the games.
So this is so as firefighters also we write reports. We have emails that we have to keep up with. We have our everyday job. Those things don't change at all. We have 2 of our fellow firefighters here. We have driver operator Tobe. That's Tobe. And this is driver operator James Adams. Yep. So, but in the TV room, in the computer room, this is where we'll write our reports, check our emails, do payroll. Lieutenants may spend a little bit more time in here than others. So, this is designated this is designated as our hazmat room. So since we're the hazmat station, this is where we keep most of our monitors, the charge, and everything like that. On the weekends, as you don't know, on the weekends, sometimes our time is free. So I'm going to take you into the basement where sometimes we like to play a little bit of bones. So, we'll come in here and we got our EMS room, we'll play a little bit of dice in here sometimes, we'll trade honey buns and oatmeal pies and fudge rounds and stuff. But, I'll see you boys later. All right. And now we're getting into our bedrooms. So we have our designated driver operator room. That guy kind of gets a room to himself, which is kind of cool. You can come on in. It might be a little messy, but this room is designated, solo. So the driver may have his own room, or the lieutenant, or as that goes. We'll get into our bathrooms. We have our female bathroom for all of our lovely ladies. If you need to use the bathroom, where Station 2 is, 2210 Southwest Archer Road. Come on down. And for our ladies that also work with us, we're a very diverse fire department. So we have males and females of all kinds, all walks of life, which is super cool. Here, big boys bathroom, which you can come in, sinks and all that good stuff. We have our showers to the back where we'll shower on the daily. Things get a little stank around here sometimes, so we'll come in and we have our showers and our bathrooms. And then you get to our last spot, which is our dorms. Dorms are where our individual rooms are. So like we said, you have, how many dudes? 7 dudes in the station at one time. So you do the math, Each man has his locker. Each man has to keep his clothes somewhere. He has to keep his personal items. So that's where we have, these are our lockers. You'll see C block here. C block is where, cool people kind of be.
There's 4 rooms back in there. And then each hallway has 4 rooms. So this one has 4 rooms. The one that he is going to take you back there has 4 rooms.
Yep. So this is our other D block that has our other set of rooms. And then behind, like we said earlier, every fire station has a gym. We're fully equipped. Hey, David, come on in here for me. Yeah. David's going to go ahead and grab those 50s, David. David's going to demonstrate for us a proper curl. So good, David. Yeah. David's got it.
I thought he was gonna make you rep out.
Oh, that's next actually. So that's David. Go ahead, David. Curl. Yeah. So if you see, he gets good lift in the bicep, good tight range of motion across the board. All right, David, go ahead and give us a hammer curl real quick. And that's where he goes ahead and switches up a different muscle usage. So David's one of our best and finest here at the fire station when it comes to working out, a guru, as you may say. So. That is pretty much. Am I missing anything else?
That's
So that's pretty much Station 2.
Home.
This is home. This is
Our gear room.
Oh, our gear room. Let's take it to the gear room. Yeah, let's go to the gear room.
I don't know if he told you, but out here there's also a laundry. Like it's pretty much a full-on home. Because we have work uniforms that we have to wear.
Yeah.
So we also have laundry in here. Because if you're somebody I know Hutch is coming off of, he's worked 48 straight.
Yeah.
David's on overtime, so sometimes you don't get to go home and wash your stuff. So
yeah, and sometimes on the calls, one thing people don't, we get down and dirty. If there's a major EMS call and blood is on scene, guess what? Sometimes you got to get up in it. So you got to be able to wash your gear and do all those good things.
While we're out here, before we get to the gear room. We also have, some of the stations have just weight rooms. We also have a training tower that will do a lot of workouts going up and down the training tower. We did some training before you guys got here where we were crawling actually through those bars, kind of just helping us do different things in houses that you don't know what you would come upon. But this is going to be the gear room. This is where everybody will keep their gear.
We'll keep all of our stuff in here. Sometimes we hang out, at each shift to keep their gear in here. So for in the mornings, when you get off shift, you'll bring your gear in here, hang it up, and when you come on the shift, one of the first things we do when we get here is to put our gear on the truck because that kind of signifies that we're ready to go. Once you get dressed in your uniform and you have your gear on this truck and you have all the little things you need set up for your 24 hours, then you'll go make your relief. You'll go find the guy that sat in your seat 24 hours before. You'll get a pass over if there was anything major that happened with the truck, any major calls, anything that the oncoming firefighter, lieutenant, or driver has to be aware of, and we'll go from there, So overall, that's everything, right? That's a complete station. That's a Station 2. Tip of the spear, as they say in Spain.
It doesn't even smell bad in there. This is
At 2 of our stations. Normally, when after a crew goes into a fire, they our supply or the chiefs will come by and get all of our gear and put them in garbage bags, because in a fire we're exposed to so many carcinogens. Who knows what can get on our gear? And you think about it, we a night, we're in Florida, so most of the days are hotter than cold, so putting that gear on, you could be climbing upstairs, you could be doing work, and you're sweating and those pores are opening up, and that's opening if your gear isn't clean. And that's why, at least Gainesville especially, we love to pride ourselves on clean gear, because that's what allows him to retire. That's what allows me to retire someday and still be in good health. Because some of this gear can be toxic to us in some of those ways. Some of the situations, a lot of the situations we go to are toxic environments. So with our gear, we have 2 extractors in the department where we're able to take our gear, break it down piece by piece, and its specialty washes it to get all of those carcinogens, all of those toxins out of our gear, so that it's fresh and new. It's kind of like a new cotton shirt, kind of loosens it up a little bit, and then that happens over the 3 days that we're off shift, so that when you come back on shift, your gear is back on, because we have to have those things on a timely basis, because a firefighter is only as good as their gear, So if your equipment and your gear isn't up to par, if you have rips in it, we do quarterly maintenance on our gears all the time. If you have a rip in it, Gainesville is very good about promptly getting the new equipment that we need. If a mast breaks, those things for us are life and death. So they're not things that our department waits on. They're very proactive in getting them to us as soon as we need it.